first of all, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming here today for a very important issue. I'd also firstly like to acknowledge Commissioner Ian Stewart, as well as Ron James from the Queensland Fire and Rescue Service, as well as David Eales from the Queensland Ambulance Service, other representatives from the RACQ here also, members from the Department of Transport. It's very important here for the launch of the 2012 Christmas Safety Campaign. And this particular year, as in previous years, we've had the fatal 4, but due to the increased amount of traffic offence notices over the last 3 years, particularly in the areas of distraction and inattention, we've had to increase the fatal 4 to the fatal 5. And we know police are out there hard working on the streets, but we need all Queenslanders to step up to the mark and remember to look after themselves, their loved ones and other Queenslanders. So this particular year, we're introducing the Fatal 5. And the Fatal 5 is quite simple. Speeding, fatigue, seat belts, drunk driving, distractions and inattention. So please, just remember the Fatal 5 and stay alive. We want all Queenslanders to have a safe Christmas festivities, but please remember your attention, don't be distracted, and get to your location safely. We've seen too many Queenslanders pass away on our roads. Current road toll is 265, which is 12 above last year's total. And I'm actually begging all Queenslanders to please look after each other in their vehicles, look after their mates. We don't want any loss of lives, because it's hard enough on the families, but also the loved ones and the community, and particularly the emergency service workers, to have to attend these tragic events. So we have to make sure that we look after all road users and remember the Fatal 5, which is very important. As we've seen a number of increases in traffic incidences over the last 3 years in particular, where we've seen in relation to inattention and distractions being involved in over 15% of injury accidents that people have attended hospital, particularly over the last 12 months. So this increase of inattention from mobiles, twittering or other technical devices in vehicles. And I just say to all the community out there that no phone message or tweet or music message is worth your life or the life of a loved one. So please don't get distracted. Make sure you enjoy the privilege of owning a driver's licence, and remember that it is a privilege, not a right, and to look after everyone through the Christmas period. Drive safely, obey the road rules, and get to your location in a safe manner. I'll just get the Commissioner to say a few words, please. Commissioner.
Thanks, Minister, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank all of you for being here to what I consider is one of the most important days, and that is the start of our Christmas road safety campaign. The state campaign kicks off at midnight tonight, runs right through until the new year. The national campaign runs from the 23rd of December through till the 3rd of January. We actually here in Queensland keep going and work into the new year, and then kick in again with another campaign for the start of the school year. But the Minister's right. No amount of driving while distracted is worth a life. And I would ask all Queenslanders, please obey the law. Don't touch that phone. Don't start doing something that will take your attention away from driving that motor vehicle. We know that it is becoming a factor in serious road crashes, including fatalities. You can make the choice. You, the driving public, can make that choice. Please act sensibly, make sure you get to your destination, and be with your family over this Christmas New Year period. Thank you.
Commissioner, will police be taking driving inattention as seriously as some of the other offences?
Absolutely. It will be a concentrated effort by all of our officers on the entire Fatal 5, but particularly inattention this year. Driving without due care and attention is a $330 fine and 3 demerit points. I'd rather no one is intercepted and given one of those fines, but I think the reality of life is that we'll be handing out quite a few this Christmas. But I do implore people, think about what you're doing. That 1 second inattention can cost a life.
how are you going to police that, I suppose? I mean, it's a lot harder to sort of see through people's windows than...
To some extent it is, particularly with tinted windows that we have. But certainly, I think every one of you has seen examples of people grab that mobile phone. Look, I've seen in traffic people doing the most ridiculous things, putting makeup on, having a shave in the morning while they're driving the car, even eating their breakfast. I mean, just crazy stuff. And as I said, this is a very, very simple decision to make.
You have ways of being able to, techniques of being able to see that sort of...
There are some covert techniques that we do use, yes, but in reality, most people are being caught outright simply by when they pass a police vehicle, they just don't seem to have any sense that what they're doing is wrong or dangerous. That's got to change.
So you're telling police officers to be on the lookout for people doing things like eating burgers with 2 hands?
Absolutely. It all fits within the driving without due care and attention.
Commissioner, how much of people using their mobile phones is for text messages? Have you seen people doing it for social media much as well?
You mean using it for social media while they're driving? Oh, look, I'm sure they do, and that's one of the problems I think we have.
Right.
This is what we're trying to stamp out. We believe that the use of, particularly of mobile phones and other electronic devices, is becoming a major factor in our road crash statistics. We want to stamp that out.
And is it mostly young people?
Look, I think you'll see all ages utilising their phones and their devices. And quite honestly, I'd ask some of the media if they want to go down to the nearest major road here on North Quay and stand there for 10 minutes, I can almost guarantee you will see someone breaking the law.
Pardon my ignorance, Commissioner, but even say something like eating a burger with just one hand or one hand on
Absolutely.
the wheel, that's an offence as well, correct?
Absolutely,
right.
It is. That can be evidence of inattention and distraction.
Obviously, given the weekend, five people died. This just makes this message even more important.
Our road safety statistics and road crash statistics as of the morning, and this is one of the things that I pass to the Minister every morning. This morning was 265 plus 12, which means we've had 265 registered fatalities this year on our roads. We are 12 more than the same time last year, and last year our total for the whole year was 269. And I mean, everyone can do the maths. We don't want another death on Queensland Road to spoil someone's Christmas.
Have you got any indication yet of how the accident on the weekend?
No, I still haven't got a full report on that, and because of the nature of this accident and the absolute devastation that it caused to both the vehicles involved, the fact that the driver of the unit that came in behind that crashed into the stopped car passed away, it makes it all that more difficult to get a definitive answer.
Minister, are the current laws, the current penalties for inattention not scaring people?
Look, it's not a figure that we're very proud of as Queenslanders when we see that over 90,000 tickets were issued for either distraction or inattentiveness in vehicles throughout Queensland. 90,000 people committing offences on our roads, and as the Commissioner alluded to, of the 265 deaths on our roads this year, a lot of them would have been avoidable if people remembered the fatal 5. So I really do implore that, particularly through this Christmas festive period, is to remember the fatal 5 and stay alive, because you've got to look after your mates. And sorry.
Do you think the Fatal 4, Fatal 5 campaign still has an impact on drivers? It's been around for a while.
Look, it certainly does, and there's a magnificent amount of research that goes into identifying what are the special needs to identify the fatal 5. And when we see that enormous amount of rise in figures in relation to mobile phone usage and other distractions in our vehicles, we have to act on that, and we have to be on the front foot in relation to road safety. And that is why we're including it in the fatal 5, because we simply have to send a clear message that there is so many avoidable accidents, deaths and injuries on our roads because people are making the most silliest decisions over a matter of seconds that puts their lives and the lives of their loved ones or other community members. And any fatality, with all the horrific tragedy that comes with it, people just don't get a chance to say goodbye to their loved ones. So please, I do implore everyone, don't put yourself in that circumstances. Make sure you arrive safely and obey the fatal 5.
Are you doing anything, looking at fines or types of penalties?
Oh look, I think what we'd like to see is no one committing any of these offences in the first place, and we'll always have a balanced approach to making sure that we send a strong message out to the community, and but we'll balance that with education and enforcement. And I really do implore, the police cannot do this by themselves. We have to ensure that the people of Queensland take responsibility for their driving actions.
Minister and
Yep.
Commissioner, I guess, what's the impact of this over for on emergency services who have to go to the accident?
Look, I've attended many fatals myself in previous occupations, and it's not just the the accident scene. It's the emotions, the smells, the noise, and they stay with emergency service workers for the rest of their lives, and it does impact on their families. And but thankfully, we have the best of the best in all our emergency services. We've got the finest police officers, ambulance officers, fire and rescue officers, SES, as well as from the Department of Transport, and they do a magnificent job. They do a professional job. We do have a number of HR and safety compliances in place to assist those officers, but obviously it's a burden that many emergency workers have to bear because simply people are not being responsible on the roads, and it's up to those individuals. If you're in a vehicle, particularly over this festive season, and you see someone misbehaving in your car, talk up, put your hand up, all Queenslanders, and say, remember the fatal 5 and stay alive. Drive that home to every road user so we can get all Queenslanders home safely.
Commissioner, what about yourself and your officers? An accident like happened on the weekend.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Certainly we don't like going to any of these accidents. It does have a cost on our people, but as it does with every one of the emergency services. But when you have a multiple fatality involving particularly young people and sometimes children, that probably has even a greater impact on the emergency services, the ones who have to come along to investigate it, clean up the mess. And with that, can I also thank all of the emergency services for the work that they do every day in trying to keep Queensland safe. And you see this great group behind us here, which is showcasing all of the people who try every day to keep Queenslanders safe on our roads. And in particular, can I also congratulate RACQ for the great work that they continue to do on behalf of every Queenslander. And there's one more group that's probably one of the most important groups getting this road safety message out to our community, and it's you, the media. If you continually give that message back to the community, I'm sure that it does have an impact, and I thank you very, very much for not only covering this, but covering all of the road safety initiatives that the emergency services and the Minister's portfolio has been involved in, and also the transport portfolio. So thank you.